What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of Cops Court and Coffee. I'm Darnell Eason. Now, we all have seen all kinds of media attention when it comes to law enforcement around the country and the negative impact that it's had when it comes to relationships with law enforcement. So I'm going to try and make a few things clear about law enforcement, and I'm going to give you my top 5, no one else's, but my top 5 things that I wish you as the general public knew when it comes to policing this great nation.
Number 5. Nothing is personal when it comes to law enforcement officers. I know I don't take anything personally. Now, law enforcement officers do not start their tour looking for a particular person or even a particular race of people to stop. Now, if a law enforcement officer sees a violation, there is a duty to act. If you for some reason received the summons or you were arrested, it's probably because you broke the law, not because the law enforcement officer didn't like you. Number 4. What you see on television is not how things are done. Most of what civilians know about law enforcement is from watching movies or their favorite television show. What you see on television and the movies is not entirely accurate. Cases aren't solved inside of the 1 hour that most of these shows want you to believe, and everything you see is for dramatic effect. This also applies to the news media, since most of their reporting is for dramatic effect. Number 3. You'll be arrested by the cops if you don't behave. Now, have you ever told your child this? If so, please stop. Telling your child that they will be arrested by the police for not listening or doing something wrong is not the right thing to do. By doing so only builds fear and distrust towards law enforcement, and they'll think that all cops look like this. Number 2. Just because you've been stopped doesn't always mean you're going to get a summons. Most law enforcement officers will give you a warning when they stop you for some sort of minor traffic violation. Despite the recent negative images, law enforcement personnel are actual people with actual feelings. We don't take pleasure in making others suffer the stresses associated with traffic stops.
And the number one thing I wish the general public knew when it comes to policing this great nation is that law enforcement officers hardly ever shoot anyone. Now, I know it's hard to believe since you've been conditioned to think that all law enforcement officers want to shoot, have to shoot, can't wait to shoot, or whatever. But the truth of the matter is that very few law enforcement officers will ever fire their firearms. Now, outside of them going to requalify each year at the range to be proficient in the handling of that duty weapon, and that also includes firearm safety, most will never have to remove that firearm from their holster during their entire career. Well, those are my top 5 things that I wish the general public knew when it comes to policing this great nation. Now, I hope that answered some of the things that may have been on your mind when it comes to how you view the law enforcement community. If you guys have any questions for me, please leave them in the comment section below. And please make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Until next time, guys, I'll see you.